Watching this film, I actually got emotional. And there's nothing wrong with that. But why did that happen to me? Let's find out. Hello guys, I'm Noah and I finally watched Barbie, the film that has taken over the box office. Directed by Greta Gerwig, this film is a wacky satire with a lot of social commentary. The film takes the Barbie dolls and talks about its legacy. We see the plastic world called the Barbie land, which is designed just like how the kids play with the dolls. They don't really eat, they just act of eating. They don't really drink anything, just act that they're drinking. And the film depicts all of these things, which is very fun to watch. Just to witness it all from the outside, it feels so stupid. And in all of this, there's an underlying subtext. There are a lot of dialogues and one-liners making a social remark. And then a change happens, the inciting incident through which we dive into the plot. Because of which we see the Barbie dolls traveling from their world to the real world. And we see what all that leads to. Now the big problem or the flaw with the film is that it's trying to tackle so many things at once. It's talking about patriarchy, it's talking about sexism, how it is institutionalized, talks about the lack of women representation at workplace, how the standards for women are decided by society and how they have to stay within that, their objectification, and how Barbie has done that, how it has set the beauty standards for women. And then in a way the film also questions the radical feminism, the hate men campaign. So the Barbie land is totally opposite of the real world. If in real world men are in charge, they are in the position of power, in Barbie land women or Barbies are in charge. They are in the position of power. And just how for the longest time in the real world women were treated as secondary citizens, that's how men or Ken are treated in Barbie land. Now in the film, the Kens have only one job, to look good in the eyes of Barbie. When Ken learns about patriarchy in the real world, that they are not useless, that they also have their own value, that they can also have power, he takes that to the Barbie world and he radically changes the world. It becomes Ken world or Kendom. Everything gets converted. Now the Kens are in charge. And that is the idea of radical feminism, that throw men out, only women will be in charge of everything. That's the solution. And we see in the film that it's not the solution. Now the film is named Barbie, but it spends ample time on Ken also, developing his character or showing the side of the men's story, that they lack their own identity. Who are they? What is their purpose? Just to be a prop for Barbie? And that comments about the real world too. How society defines roles for women, it also does that for men. They are told that they have to be the breadwinner of the house. They need to look after the family. First their parents, then their kids, and that's their life. Yes, of course they enjoy the privilege of being in a patriarchal world, but it does cuts both ways. But now the problem is, you expect by the end the film will give you a message of things should be balanced, equal. But the film never goes there. It's not trying to give you a message. No. That's not the case. So by the end of the film, everything is reversed in Barbie world. Now again, Barbies are in charge. And there is a scene where the Ken says, can we have some representation? And there the film makes a remark. The narrator says, the Kens will get the same amount of representation how the women got in the real world. Again, it's a one-liner the film is trying to make. So the film is not taking really any stance. And that actually makes you unsure of what the film is trying to say. Now with Barbie, it does represent unrealistic beauty standards for women, but it's also a figure of inspiration for women, and the film well-roundedly depicts that. Now if this film was in the hands of a lesser director, they would have taken an easy route, just bash everything. But this film doesn't do that. It is trying to show every side and every angle. It's not just dismissing it. Now the film is very self-aware, maybe for its own good. Like there's literally a dialogue where the film is trying to say that beauty is not everything, and at that point the narrator makes a point that the director should remember that if you're trying to make this point, maybe not cast Margot Robbie next time, who actually represents that stereotypical beauty. And that's a very funny line in the movie. It's very meta. But again, it's actually undercutting the point you were making previously. And that's what happens in the film. It's trying to make multiple points, but somewhere or the other, they're all contradicting each other. And in some sense, you may say good, that the film is not preaching something. It's just laying it all out for you, and it's on you to decide. You can take whatever you want. And I think Greta Gerwig is very good at emotions. She makes you feel for Barbie, for Ken, for that mother. And there are so many lines that actually hit hard. There is one about mothers. We mothers stand still so that our daughters can look back and see how far they have come. And in the film, we learn that the creator of Barbie named the dolls after her own daughter Barbara. And at the end, we get a lovely scene between them. And then we cut to a montage of images consisting of childhood visuals of cast and crew growing up with their mothers. Now, all this was good, but the point is, in the film, we don't spend enough time on this relationship. We have a mother-daughter character, but we don't spend actually that much time with them. At one point in the film, it feels like the film is about them, but their conflict is resolved quite easily, and then we move on to many other things. It does feel like everything is not fleshed out. See, at the end of the day, the film is fun, and if you don't take it seriously, you'll enjoy it a lot. But if you think a lot, if you try to find too much logic into it, it will become a mess. And I think that's why the film is working so well, doing wonders at the box office, because it's doing so many things, but at the same time not taking itself too seriously and having fun, and people are enjoying that. They are happy, the producers are happy, the theater owners are happy, everyone is happy, and that's the goal. Now, if you want to be happy, you can check out my review of Oppenheimer, where I talked about Christopher Nolan's masterclass in non-linear editing and how does it do it so well. What are your thoughts on Barbie? Do let me know in the comments below. If you liked it, the thumbs up button, share this, and I'll see you next time.